Good evening, good evening, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers, and I will try to make it quick, folks. My battery is about dead. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign in regards to the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please make sure to take a look at the article in there written by Neuroclastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened Neuroclastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it. Neuroclastic refused. You know the drill, folks. Read the article, share on all your social media. Also included is Neuroclastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. We discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys. You're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize the headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they're watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. We're going to try to make it as brief as humanly possible because computers on fumes. Alright. FDA should move promptly to enforce its ban. It's been over a decade, for the love of God, yes! Let's get a move on. Let's not take another decade of another generation of disabled kids being abused while we're debating it again a second time. Let's get a move on, please. Especially considering what's going on with politics right now. If it's on the docket, FDA, you need to get it done. Alright? Still going down that rabbit hole with RFK Jr. I'm still looking at things and trying to find answers that I can't seem to find anywhere. I will get back to that for you all as soon as I can. So, where we left off yesterday. Although we strongly support the FDA's decision to ban electric skin shock devices, we continue to be troubled by the FDA's proposal to defer enforcement of this ban for 180 days for individuals currently on this device to transition to alternative interventions. Yes! Thank you! If you believe this device is harmful, that it indeed presents unreasonable risk of harm or injury, and you have seen the evidence that it is a psychological wrecking ball, why are you making them wait? This is not like medicine, okay? Where you have to wean them off the pill so that you don't you get where I'm going here. It's not like a pill. You're not weaning them off Ritalin or Adderall. You are getting them off of a torture device, okay? You cannot treat it as though you're trying to wean someone off of a medication. But the behaviors will reappear. Yes, that's what happens when nobody does anything to address the triggers for years on end and instead continue to punish you for behaviors you don't have control over. That's going to happen regardless. Removing it sooner or later, that reaction is going to come. That is, it's human, folks. There are consequences, okay? The idea shouldn't be, well, then obviously we need to slowly wean them off violence being perpetuated on their person. Okay? This is not a pill. We are referencing a device that is put on kids that provides extreme physical pain as well as second and third degree burns. All right? They don't need to be weaned off it. You wean people off of medication. You get a person who's being tortured the fuck out of there, removing all the devices that were being used to torture them in a way to keep them safe. All right? As usual, ASAN, all the rest of us advocates, and poor ARC are here to bring logic back into the conversation here. This is not like an actual treatment program that is sane. Okay? It's not a drug, it's a torture device. Behaviors are going to crop up regardless of what you do. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with someone who's been a survivor of abuse. All right? Okay, I'm going to close this out as quick as I can, folks. I'm going to have to speed read. I apologize for that. The only facility in the U.S. that used these devices has an extensive history of using litigation to obstruct efforts to protect its residents from electric skin shocks. Based on the history, there is every reason to believe that the JRC will take advantage of any transaction period not to provide behavioral assessment and transition of care for individuals receiving these harmful shocks, but to impose further delays or obstruction of enforcement. I'm not going to wrap it up, folks. I got to get this thing on the battery. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye, everyone.